All right. Hey, everyone. This is Corinne Lafont, your favorite radio host, your only radio host on Between the Lines, broadcasting to you from Trinidad and Tobago. You know, I always start my show like this. Beautiful day. It's always beautiful to me, whether it's rainy, sunny, I don't care what it is. It's a beautiful day. It's a bit overcast, but it's beautiful. I have with me even more beautiful Kelly Garrett, and I'm going to share a bit about Kelly here in a second. Kelly Garrett is founder and master of marketing at Etc. I like to say that word. I'll tell you why in a while. At Etc. Design and Marketing, she places herself in your customer shoes and helps companies create a cohesive customer journey to elevate fragmented, inconsistent marketing, making it easier for business owners to focus on what you do best. She improves customer loyalty and retention, which is what we're talking about today, how to improve customer loyalty and retention by bringing together the right combination of technology, automation, design, and strategy to optimize your marketing impact. And so I want to officially welcome Kelly Garrett to Between the Lines. Welcome, Kelly.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Yes, it's great to have you. Customer loyalty and retention. Before we go to that, I wanted to talk about Etc.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Anna and the King. Do you know that show? You don't?
No.
You need to look it up. That will age me. Oh my God. So look it out. Check out Anna and the King on YouTube. Is with I can't remember the actor's name, but handsome man.
Okay.
And Julie Andrews, many years ago. And he was a king. He's a king, and I can't remember, she was a teacher or something. And he just had this way of pronouncing etc. That was just his that was just his whenever he's talking to Anna, he would say, instead of you saying and so on, you say etc.
I like that.
So when I saw that, I was like, oh, it took me back to, it just took me back to
Yes, that's fun.
Yeah, it's a family-oriented show. Back then, they had more family-oriented shows.
Yeah, we could use more of that.
Yes, we do. So, customer loyalty and retention. And I'm going to be showing your website, featuring your website. So if there's anything that you want to share in particular on your website, you may be doing some giveaway or something like that, or something of value to the audience. That would be great. So I'm in business. Let's use me. I'm in business. I'm a publisher, and I help persons to write and publish and market their books. And I know a bit about customer retention and loyalty, but I'm always open to learning. So you can use me as a little guinea pig when you're talking, but you can you can also speak to other industries, because it may vary depending on the sector, the business, the type of clients, on how you can build loyalty and retention. Yeah, the modern approach, how to automate it. I love the fact that you talk about automation and the use of technology. I'm very key on technology and automation, because you really don't want to spend your time working and doing this. But at the same time, even with automation, you don't want your customers to feel they're just being robotically impressed. You know, massage. You don't want them to feel, oh, she says this to everybody, or he says this to everybody. So you have to have a sort of personalized approach to it. Even if things are automated, there may be some other follow-ups that you can do that's personal. Yeah. So I'm going to hand it over to you to explain that and show persons how to really build or improve on customer loyalty and retention. And it's two different things, loyalty and retention. Yeah. So start with that, loyalty versus retention. What the hell is that?
Yeah, absolutely. And you hit on some really great things. Well, first of all, to answer that question, loyalty versus retention, they are two very slightly different things. You can think of loyalty as extending beyond customers, loyalty would be someone who is also a champion for your business and your brand, that they're going to go and refer you to other people.
Right.
Maybe they've worked with you, maybe they haven't. Maybe you just have a relationship with that person, and they're going to recommend you always over someone else. So that's loyalty. Retention is taking existing customers and turning them into repeat customers. So someone that's going to come back and buy from you again and again and again.
Yeah.
It's much easier to sell to someone who's already been your customer than it is to sell to a brand new person that hasn't heard of you. So the retention piece is something that I think a lot of businesses forget about. And it can be a very easy way to generate more revenue and, and spend less effort on your marketing.
Yeah, love that. So let's start. What should you, well, of course, you have to build loyalty. You have to get a customer first, build the loyalty to be able to work in retention, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you were hitting on, technology, utilizing technology. And that's when I stop and take a look at, all the online marketing craze. There's all sorts of experts out there recommending do this and that. And it's so easy to get caught up in what's the next latest and greatest technology. What should we be using? And so-and-so says this is working, so let's do that. I think at the end of the day, you have to stop and go back to the very basics of marketing. And that is really building a relationship with customers, because take away all the technology and all that is those are strategies. Those are vehicles that you use to communicate with your customers, but take away all of that and you still have to have a very foundational relationship with your customers. So that foundation is the foremost important thing. You need that in order to add the technology on top of it. And then it just becomes very easy once you have that established relationship and you're prioritizing the relationship first. So I think we often tend to have a backwards approach. We say, let's get the technology up. Let's get a sales page up. Let's automate it.
Yeah.
But you don't have that relationship. So that's when people start to feel like they're being pushed through, they
call it funnels.
Yes, exactly. Yep. The funnel and assembly line kinds of things. So, so going very back to the basics.
Yeah. Well, everything goes back to the basics, Kelly. It doesn't matter what you do, how technical, how big the project is or the prize is, back to basics. And I like to keep things simple and easy, just simple and easy, and I love building relationships with people. And for me, building relationships revolve around adding value. So for example, if I notice I notice something that people are speaking about, I may be in a group, whether it is in social media groups or whatever it may be, and I see that I can answer a question and I can help, or something like that, and that can build my clientele, as well as if, people see my expertise, what I can do, and people may want to work with me because of that. Let's talk about the persons who may want to attract clients, which is basically what I was talking about a while ago, because there may be some businesses listening to this, they don't have a client yet and they want to be able to attract a client. They may be saying, you're talking about customer loyalty, I don't even have a customer yet. How do I attract a customer to be able to get them to be loyal, to be able to retain them?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you mentioned as well, giving value. That's the number one thing that, we are bombarded with sales messages all day long, online, everywhere you go.
My inbox, Kelly, my inbox.
Yes. Yes, exactly. And we have, since life is so fast paced, we are just kind of starting to shut all that off. You just ignore it because that's a sales message. They want something from me. Yeah. So the more you can do to approach anything, it's very easy when you're writing blog articles or sales copy to just think about trying to get the most number of eyes on it. But if you can just step back and treat it as if you're talking to your best friend, think about that one person that you're writing a blog post for.
Right.
That is how you're going to be able to tap in to the relationship and provide value. If you can for a moment, forget about a sale. Just try and put yourself in your customer's shoes and say, well, what can I do that would help them, solve one of their problems? What are their problems that they're struggling with? What does it feel like to be them? And what can I do to help them solve that problem?
The thing with that, sorry for cutting you, Kelly, is that
no problem.
You take that approach, yeah? And some persons may see it as you're giving away so much. You end up giving away so much for free. And you're like, at what point? Because it has happened to me, and I'm sure it has happened to all of us online entrepreneurs. You're like, I want to give, I want to add value, I want to give. And then you realize you're being taken advantage of. People just want this for free. And they say things like, it's just a few minutes of your time. Or at the end, you're like, thank you for your time. I'm like, what the hell? My time is valuable as money. I normally charge for this. You would tell them 5 minutes, 15 minutes, free consultation. It end up going into an hour, whatever it may be, and you're like, what just happened here? You really don't appreciate my time. And they don't even compensate you for it. I love how the animal just comes in the middle of it.
Yeah.
So I just love it. This is wonderful. I love it. Yeah. So at what point do you say enough is enough? Because you want to add so much value. People start seeing you as just giving away things for free and expect you to do that. The persons who are bombarding my emails are the ones who seem to be the most successful, because they're always pushing, buy this, I have this, take this, this is. So I'm like, what, should I behave like that to be able to make a sale? Because I am in business to make money. So what's the balancing act here, Kelly? What's the balancing act?
Yeah, and those are very valid questions. And I think that's where we all struggle with that. I think that comes down to a few things. Number one is setting boundaries for yourself. So I think that there is a way to still provide value, but to also have the confidence to say, I'd love to help you, and I can hop on a call for 15 minutes. If you set up the expectation beforehand, this call is only going to be 15 minutes. Right. People usually respect that. Usually they'll be watching the clock saying, Usually, yes. And there's a few that would take advantage of that, but I think having the confidence to set boundaries is first. Second is, there's kind of an adage, show the why, but not the how. So in your marketing materials, in your content, in your talks with people, you can explain why it is that they need your services, or why it is that the advice that you have will help them in their businesses or help them with whatever you're helping them with, but you don't show them the how.
But they wonder how. Kelly. They will tell you they're that bold. I need the how. You're not telling me. You just want me to spend money on you. You just want me to buy into you. And they will say that in a corner with their friends. They're going to say, she's not giving away whatever. She wants me to buy whatever. Until they're in the position of being an entrepreneur, they don't understand. This is how businesses run. It is not on air.
Yeah. And I think too, if you are running into a lot of people like that, you might want to ask, is there a different audience that I should be going after? Because sometimes when you run into a lot of customers that they want your time and they want the how and they want all these things from you and they don't have the money to buy, that's probably not an ideal customer that you want to be working with. So is there a way that you can slightly shift what you're offering so that it gets in front of the right people that will have the money to buy? And it's amazing how much that just a small shift in either the way you talk about something or the way you package something, a very small shift can all of a sudden put you in front of people that are ready to hand you their money. They can't give you their money fast enough.
That's right. And that's where I am in terms of my business. I'm making a shift because I've realized that there are some persons that they want my services. There's no doubt. They want it, they need it, but
Yes.
they don't have the money to spend on it, right? That's my alarm. They don't have the money to spend on it. And I don't have the time for that. While I might be compassionate in doing that, I want to help you because I want to help as many people as possible. Unless, of course, they decide, look, as a group, could we come to you to take your services and we do it at a discounted rate? That way you might have probably more than one type of client and you're still making at least money to cover your costs. And some sort of referral program, they still pay you, but a referral program where they could refer people and you make money from that person who may be able to pay you to make up for the slack. But they're not doing that. They're not doing that. They want your services, they want it for free. But the shift is something that I'm looking at. Where can you find the persons that would have the money to be able to pay you to still carry out the business, the services that you are doing? So I love that too, because that's exactly what I'm doing as well. So persons who need to, I love when you shared about the boundaries. When you're in business for yourself, you need to have boundaries. And what's the fallout of that, Kelly? Because when you set boundaries, people are going to not like you as much anymore. Because I used to be able to call you, Kelly. I used to be able to show up at any time. I could just get whatever from you. You used to be able to give. And now what are you talking about? Share a bit about that. I want people who are into business to understand these things before, so that they know how to set themselves up before going into it blindly, thinking that, hey, I could just get a customer, I just have a loyalty, and then just retain them. So share a bit about the fallout, the kind of pros and cons to those boundaries, because I think setting the framework of your business would also help you to move a bit smoother into the loyalty, because persons will be loyal to you, respecting your boundaries. They cannot be loyal to you if they have no idea the frame. Yeah. So share about the pros and cons of that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, the negative, I'll start with the negative side. If you don't have boundaries, it's just a recipe for burnout. You're not going to be making enough money. You're going to be spending way too much time on the things that you're doing, and you're just not going to receive the equal benefit from the relationship. The customer is going to be taking and taking and taking, and there's not enough there for you.
Right.
I think, and especially when it comes to boundaries, yes, it is so much harder to try and change the expectations in that relationship midway.
Yeah.
So it's much better to start out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's difficult to change it midway. Yeah, I love that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So the more you can set expectations up front, the easier it's going to be. And then you can surprise people by, say if you schedule a 15-minute call with them, you'll tell them it's 15 minutes, but then maybe you stay on for 20 minutes, maybe you stay on for 25, and then people are saying, oh, wow, you were so generous.
Yeah.
You gave me extra time. Thank you. I appreciate it. And that shouldn't be manipulative. You shouldn't lie about how much time you're going to give, but then you're going above and beyond.
Yeah.
So if you set the groundwork, if you set the expectation up front, then you have a chance to go above and beyond and impress people. And that's how you slowly turn that into loyalty, and, and then they come back.
Yeah. And people will recognize that it's a delicate balance. People will realize that you have given more than and it's not supposed to be taken advantage of. They should
Right.
recognize that if they have any sense and respect for you and what you do, they should honor that.
Right.
So loyalty. Tell me some experiences, some businesses that you have worked with, and how those various businesses have built loyalty and retention. Some of the strategies, techniques, automation, use of technology. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think one of the easiest ways when you're talking about online marketing and email, especially with technology, is to just create additional lists.
Yeah.
If you're using an email program that allows you to tag people in it, you can set up ways so if they go through a certain automation, they get tagged as a VIP or an existing customer. And then you can send out special incentives, special offers, coupons, or strategy calls. You can offer, hey, I see that you have been one of our most loyal customers. We would like to get on the phone with you and just offer a free consultation.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of ways with technology that you can make that happen.
Yeah.
On a more personal, individual level, gifts are fantastic. If you can even send a $5 gift card to Starbucks and say, hey, we really, who doesn't want a gift card to
Who doesn't
Starbucks?
want a gift in the first place?
Exactly. It doesn't have to cost a lot.
No.
But it's just a small gesture that
Or
shows.
a card for their birthday or their child's birthday to say, hey, I remember. Yeah.
And you can automate some of those things. You can automate cards, but all the better to have a handwritten message, that shows that extra touch.
Yeah, you took the time, you went to the post office, you licked that stamp, you sent it off.
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
Yeah. You can quarrel about that. I licked that stamp, I licked.
Yes. Sending my DNA.
That's right. I fought with the postman to make sure that thing was delivered.
Yeah.
Yeah, as opposed to just sending one of those what do you call it, e-cards,
right.
Which is so easy.
Yeah.
You send an actual card, old school.
Right.
Back to basics.
And so maybe schedule one day a week on your calendar where you can take 15 minutes and write a card every week to somebody, and
that's nice.
You'll start to get in the habit, and people will start to recognize, wow, that really feels great.
It's just a form of gratitude. I without even doing it, I feel good about just thinking about doing it. You just spend the time, 15 minutes once a week, and you might do 2 cards, 3 cards in that 15 minutes, and you just super excited to go to the post office and just and just post the damn thing, lick the stamp. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
But it just takes time. You feel you're doing something good, you're giving back. Yeah, that's pretty.
And it's a very small gesture, but it has such an impact psychologically. The person that's receiving it, I mean, it just, when all we get are emails and everything is digital, it's so exciting to get, a little card in the mail, and it just makes your day.
Just to get mail, the original snail mail, to come in the post box, and you see the mailman outside. I mean, that's super. You're like, what? Somebody actually wrote me?
Right.
Yeah. Another personal touch that just came to me in talking about the stamp and stuff was, if you are volunteering, you as the service provider, you have a passion for certain charities and you're volunteering, you can say to people, hey, I'm going to be at this place, come and check me out, or come and meet me, we'll spend some time and hang out, we can do some things together. You can meet me personally. You have always been talking to me via email and text and stuff, but this will be your opportunity to come and see me in person, so come check me out. I'm doing stuff for the cancer, whatever, or I'm giving out food at the soup, whatever, or I mean, this is gonna be just called, that would be cool, and you could take pictures, selfies, and things like that. That's cool. I like that. I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, do it. Great. Yeah, and I think it's being genuine, really. I mean, it boils down to being genuine, and gratitude, like you said, showing
Gratitude.
gratitude.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't beat that. You can't beat that, Kelly. So loyalty, and retention. So we spoke about strategies and some automation tools, MailChimp, and people have Aweber and Constant Contact. I mean, you just need to put in the search, how email management systems, platforms, and you're going to get a slew of options. Some paid, some free. But, we're also kind of balancing that with the personal and impersonal. So yes, there are some things in your business that you should automate, but then also look at other things that would still allow you to have that personal connection. Because it's important in building relationships. And just like how Kelly is saying, go back to basics. There's nothing that can take away from that face-to-face. No matter how people try to put in robots and all these other different online and technology stuff, connecting with somebody face-to-face is really awesome. I mean, I'm talking to Kelly here now. Yeah, we kind of doing a so-called face-to-face visual. We can see each other. But if I were to meet her face-to-face person, that would be super awesome. Meet the cat that just got his time on. He just make sure he got his time there on video YouTube. He's like, hey, I'm hearing my mom talking on this is my time to show myself.
Yeah, my appearance.
That's right. Make my appearance, make my debut, wave the tail and everything in front of me. I got my stroke in. Yes,
yeah.
That's awesome. Retention. There are some business persons that may be able to keep their clients for a specific time, but we want to keep them forever. How do we, as entrepreneurs, depending on the business again, be able to, one, move them up? So instead of just keeping them at one level, they came in at this level, buying at say $25 or whatever, but we want to upgrade them for them to spend not only more, or it could be a different thing. It could be more in terms of an increase in price, so the value goes up, or it could be the same value more frequently.
Yeah.
I've seen something somewhere that says it's better to do it probably more frequently than to just have them spend more, an increase in price. I saw a formula with that it worked out better that way.
Yeah.
To spend more frequently. So how do we get them to spend more frequently and to stay with us? What does it take out of us as entrepreneurs? Because it does take time. What we're talking about is not set it and leave it.
Yeah, that's a myth.
yeah. It's not a set it and leave it. Because you're an entrepreneur, you're trying to make money, you're trying to market your business, you're trying to build relationships with people. I mean, you're doing everything, especially if you're a solo entrepreneur. Where in hell are you going to find the time to be able to do all of this? Loyalty, retention, get the customers, get them to spend more on you or more frequently on you. Help us out here, Kelly.
Right. So I think the number one thing that helps there are systems and procedures. Having, because everybody does things over and over again, the same things. And the best thing to do is just document it. How is it that you, when you finish a project, say if you're doing service type of work, if you're finishing a project, every single time you finish a project, what are the steps that you go through to wrap it up and, close it out? And that will help you so that you're being consistent every time and that every customer is getting the same experience.
Right.
But then when you're ready to take it to the next level and maybe hire an assistant, you already have all of that written out. So your assistant can take that and follow the same steps that you follow and make sure that it's still done the way you want it to be done. In terms of, how do you get an existing client to stay or purchase again, you're exactly right that a more frequent purchase is better than, bigger purchases. Obviously, it'd be great if you could get both.
Yeah.
But more frequent is great because number one, it's more consistent income. You could have a better idea of how much income you'll be getting. So so it's consistent, and it's easier to do the same things repeatedly rather than having these peaks and valleys. You know, you go and you have a big project and you work on it, and then you have nothing for several months.
Yeah, which is what happens.
Yeah. So that's where some type of consistent thing is better. I think one of the most valuable things you can do, both for your business and for your customers, is to just sit down with them and ask, what do you need? What problems are you having? What can I do to help you?
Yeah.
That information is so valuable because you're going to be able to identify, first of all, how you're doing. They're going to tell you, oh, well, I really loved it when you did this.
Yeah.
And that's a clue to say, oh, okay, hey, that's a service that I could offer over and over and over again. Or that's something I could add on to this package that would increase the value and lead to more sales. So getting feedback from your customers is the best way, because then you can tailor what you're doing to exactly what they need. They're more likely to buy, they're more likely to spend with you more frequently and on a more regular, consistent basis.
Yeah. And I like the fact that you said systems. I had a guest interview the other day about franchising, and you know, systems is what really makes franchising, documenting everything. And we don't think about that as entrepreneurs. I mean, I too don't even think about it. We have it in our head. We know exactly the steps, but we don't document it and say, you know, we need to have a manual. You know, in traditional brick and mortar businesses, you know, these big companies, they have to have these documented manuals. These are the steps to do this and this, for safety, for HR, for pensions, for every little thing. There is a step for communicating with the CEO, for everything, for applying for leave, for everything. Everything is thought of, you know, in a system and a process is documented, so that you can easily take that little piece of the flow and say, you know, we need to improve on this, or we need to whatever, you can pick that little part out and say, okay, let's look at this and see how we can improve it. So if persons are into business and they want to be able to eventually franchise out, if they have that type of thinking, or they probably never thought about it, but now they are going to, now that I mention it, having systems is the way to go. And we all want to reach a point of having an assistant or many assistants. Many assistants, because we do need it. You know, I've hired assistants before. I would love to have somebody assist, or well, at least a team of 5. For me, I need at least a team of 5. For all the things that I need to do, at least a team of 5, you know. So I need to get my business to that point where I can comfortably hire a team of 5, you know, at least. To be able to even do all that documentation, the social media, the repurposing of everything, oh my God, let me not list it, my head is hurting me. So, you know, and we are only talking about one aspect, which is kind of like 2, loyalty and retention, because loyalty demands one different set of activities and retention requires a different set of activities. Plus, for those who never had a client before, it's another set of activities. So it's a constant work in progress. And I don't want people feeling that, oh my God, this is a lot of work. Yes, it is a lot of work, but you just take your time in doing it. I mean, how long have you been in business, Kelly? How long have you been doing this?
About 11 years.
Whoa, wow. And what have you learned? What have you learned? Where were you when you started in the first year? And where are you now in the sense of, you know, customer attraction, client attraction, loyalty, and retention? I mean, how were you smooth and savvy, you know, when you
No.
What were the stumbling blocks?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I didn't have a quote unquote job. I went right from undergraduate school, I got my MBA, and then I went right into launching a business. So a lot of people looked at that and said, well, you don't have any real world experience. How can you run your own business without that? And I just was bullheaded enough that I wasn't going to let that stop me. And I started out
an entrepreneur, bullheaded enough.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I started freelancing in website design and graphic design, and just one by one had little tiny customers. Started with, a couple $100 design project, and as they went along, asked people, okay, what did you think? Is there anything else you need? Yeah. Do you know anybody else that could use this service?
That's right.
And that slowly grows. Have I made mistakes? Absolutely. I have, I've hired too many people, and then I couldn't afford to pay them and had to let them go. And I made decisions based on, what I wanted and not what was best for my customers.
Yeah.
Every mistake that a business owner can make, I have probably made.
And still going to make more. I'm still going to make
more. The difference is that I have chosen exactly. Yep. I will still make more. But the difference is that I chose to look at those mistakes as opportunities. And there have been so many times when I've said, why isn't this working the way I want it to? Maybe I should just give up. Maybe I should go get a job. Maybe I should, it's not worth the stress. But that's the time to fight against that instinct and say, no, what can I take away from this? What can I learn? What can I do better next time? And every single time, it's funny, you every time you think you're kind of hitting the bottom, right around the corner is the time when you're going to be successful.
That's right.
So that persistence is you hear it all the time. That's the number one trait of an entrepreneur is persistence. To be able to be successful.
And just keep the vision. I mean, I remember when I first started years ago, I started in about 2010, I think it was. Yes, 2010. And
you've been a long time.
2010. And I was like, I'm just going to do this. I'm into publishing and stuff. And I'm like, I just have the passion and I must get a client. And a friend of mine said to me, her name is Donna. She said, Corinne, you're going to get that first client. And believe me, I know what I'm saying. When you get that first client, you're going to get more, because that one will attract more. And so said, so done. I just had faith. I believed in myself, my skills, my abilities. And I said, I'm going to do this. And exactly that. So, I want persons to believe and trust in themselves, have faith in the process, have faith generally in the universe that you're doing something that can serve, that can help somebody else. And the fact that you are here to serve others, which is what entrepreneurs are all about. We're here to serve. Once we realize that is what we are about, it's not a matter of the making money, because when you get all caught up in the making money, you forget, that you're here to really serve. An entrepreneur's purpose is to serve. And once you realize the bigger purpose beyond you, you're gonna make stumbling blocks, like we said, but you're going to do it right. And the good thing about your ideal clients, your right clients, are going to see that and walk with you in the journey. They're not going to pound on you. The right people are not going to pound on you. They're going to be like, hey, it's no biggie. I understand. And they will walk with you. The ones who are not right for you will complain, make you feel bad, put you down, all sorts of things. You don't need that. So you too, as the entrepreneur, have to decipher and discern who really is your client along the process, because you're going to get people that will come to you that you have to say no to. I have turned away people. No matter what they were paying me, I've turned away. My spirit just didn't connect with them, or along the process, like you talk about midway, and I'm like, I need this energy ain't right. It's not in alignment. I'm feeling frustrated. Something is welling up inside of me. So even when we're talking about loyalty and retention, you don't want to have loyalty and retention of the wrong clients. And I want you to wrap up with that, talking about attracting the wrong type of people for the wrong reason, meaning you're all about the money. And so you feel, oh yes, I need the money and I'm going to keep these people because I need the money. You don't want to compromise that. I want you to wrap up with that. And while you're doing that, I'm going to be featuring your website.
Great. Yeah. So, that's exactly it. You don't ever want to be in a place where, you're so desperate for the money that you start to make decisions based on that, because that's not a long-term strategy. Those things aren't going to take you where you want to go. Mm-hmm. And I think bottom line is, in terms of getting in front of the right people and, firing clients, if you have to get rid of someone that it's not working out with, mm-hmm. you have to have a confidence. Mm-hmm. It boils down to knowing yourself really well, knowing the value that you bring and being confident in that value. And that's when you will realize that, there are people that it's a really great fit, mm-hmm. that there are the right client is out there for you. Yeah. It's just a matter of finding that client. And once you have that inner peace and knowing your value and knowing who you should work with, it makes it easier to attract those people. It's the law of attraction. Mm-hmm. It's easier to attract those people when you are comfortable in your own shoes, know what you provide. Then you can filter and weed out the people that don't fit that. And they're out there. Everybody else is out there.
Oh, yes. And there you are with your beautiful self. See you there. And so that's you here too, in your little avatar.
No. That's my bot personality.
Cute. And so it's etc. And I guess the K here that's kicking out is for Kelly.
Yes, you're not many people pick up on that.
Really? It must be Kelly. What else it could be? It must be. Right. So tell me what you want me to feature on your website here. You have start here. There's something cool you want people to see. So you say, show me, start here. Let's see now. How do we start here? We do show me, but it's not allowing me to click. Why?
Oh no. Wow. That's odd. So it
was allowing me, I think, before. I don't know why. Okay. Let's see.
I'll take a look at that right when we get off and make sure that nothing's broken.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So that is Facebook Messenger bots. Mm-hmm. Have you played with that at all?
Isn't that the thing that when you, like, if I were to message you, it has these services kind of questions type of thing. Yep. So it's like a sort of customer. Well, it serves as my assistant in Messenger, yes. And asks questions and stuff, and I can get it on a back end somewhere. I can communicate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. Yep. That is kind of a new thing that Facebook has been doing, and I've been really immersed in that and bringing that into the customer journey to allow you to connect with people more easily, because we all have our phones on us all the time, and it's very easy.
I haven't used it, and I said I would, but I don't like to. When I'm going into these little techie things, I like to really spend the time to focus on it, not just go hop off. So tell me, what has been your experience with that? Has it converted for you in some way or form? If it has, I'm going to do it right after I talk to you.
Absolutely. Yes, it is. So email marketing, you probably are getting like a 20% open rate on messages, and 2 or 3% click-through rate. Facebook Messenger, we're getting between 60 and 95% open rate. And when you send out a message, people are opening it within like 3 seconds because it pops up on your phone. Mm-hmm. So, and we're getting about a 30% click-through rate. So nice. People are very, very engaged in Messenger.
Yes.
There are some
I use it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly. We all use it, and it's just so easy and fast. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. There are a lot of terms of service that Facebook has, rules about being promotional and sending out marketing messages. So you have to be really careful to follow Facebook's terms of service.
Okay.
But it's I'm constantly having people message me and say, "Oh, I heard about this service that you're offering. Can you tell me more about it?" And
Nice.
we're having an instant conversation, and then
Nice.
we're scheduling a phone call. You know,
Nice.
a
I
day or
am
something.
definitely going to check it out.
It's yes,
Let me
it's a
see.
really great thing. I think, you know, by the end of the year, I think you will see a majority of businesses utilizing it in some way.
I thought there was a link here when I looked at this page for me to click on.
Down a bit. Yep, there's some kind of 4 different boxes there of things that we offer, some blog articles.
Yeah.
Signing up for my newsletter is probably the best way. Number 4 there. Yeah, signing up, and I send out a digest of different articles online. I am really big into tech tools, so there's always like a recommended tool of the week that I send out. So that's great.
Yeah.
To look at.
Okay, I see you have some resources as well here. Oh yeah,
Yep.
I'm quite familiar with some of them. Yeah.
Yep. I just love. I'm an early adopter with technology, so I'm always looking for the new things. But like we said before, taking that and then going back to the basics with it. Okay, how can I take this technology and personalize it, making it more interactive?
Yeah. I'm definitely going to check out the bot, and I fix that link if you can, so that I can come back to your page.
Yes.
For you to
actually, can I? I'm going to give out a link that it won't be live yet, but as soon as we hop off, I will make it live. It's going to be etc.com/favorite.
/favorite?
Yeah, for your favorite interview or your favorite host.
Oh, so it's not live now.
It's not live now, but I will do it as soon as we get off.
Okay, great. All right, wonderful.
And there'll be a free gift there. It's
nice. So repeat that link. So
etc.com/favorite.
FAVORITE.
Yes.
Beautiful. Well, this has been fun. We talked so much about so many things. Thank you so much, Kelly Garrett.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's been fun. It feels like girls talk. Every time I have my guests, it always feels like girls talk. And your cat, of course, I can't forget. I want to thank him or her for featuring him or herself on my show.
Yes, she's tired now. She's napping.
That's why she's not moving across the screen. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your wisdom, your experience. And I like when people are real, in the sense that you're not making up this thing to make it seem to persons that, oh, I've been in business for 11 years and I'm making whatever. And yeah, it's been all red roses and smooth sailing. No, you have gone through the mill and there's still more mill to go through.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, but you're enjoying the journey, and we want to let people know it's possible.
Yep.
It is possible, and learn from your failures, and there's always a reason behind every challenge that comes to you. Is what can you learn from it? Thank you so much. I'm going to be checking out that button on Facebook Messenger. Definitely. It's been a while, so you have reminded me to check it out.
Great.
So as soon as you fix that link, let me know, and I will come back to your page and check that out on the Show Me something exciting. Thank you so much for being on Between the Lines.
Yes, thank you.